Hello guys and welcome back to The Sims 4, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to a speed build. This one is a bit of a rocky start because first of all I had this idea for a layout and then it didn't fit on the lot, and so I moved it next door to the bigger lot, and then for some reason in my head all of a sudden it turned into, oh, this is a tropical build. So then we moved to Solani. So go ahead and give me a minute, let it cook. You're about to see a whole bunch of lot changes. It started in Newcrest, but we're heading to Solani. And then suddenly, this was one of those, so I mentioned in what I believe will be my last speed build, but these might get out of order, so we'll see. Anyways, I've been working on my floor plans. I want to try to do different floor plans more often. I find myself getting very strongly into my little bubble of here's the living room, here's the kitchen, here's the bedroom and the bathroom off the living room or off the, my little square houses, which I love, and they're a beautiful palette to paint pretty things on, right? But I really want to get better at interesting floor plans and being comfortable with dead space, like hallways and things. And so that's what I was trying to do with this one, was figure out a floor plan that is way different than what I would normally do. And so in this floor plan, you walk in to a long hallway, the bedrooms are up front, and the living space is in the back. And that makes the most sense when you put this lot here. In a minute we will. You put this lot in Sulani on the beach, because then the living spaces aim out into the water, right? And the bedrooms are up front closer on the beach. Having said that, that does mean when people come to your front door, they can hear you in the bedroom if your windows are open and stuff. But I feel like if you're in a secluded beach area, you're probably fine anyway. The roof on this one's a little bit interesting. It's not like my most favorite roof, but it does feel appropriate to the build. I do play with it a little bit here. So I think it's okay, and it does have a wraparound porch, which is skinny but usable. So we do put stuff on the wraparound porch. Here you can see it's in its final destination, and suddenly this house makes a lot more sense looking out onto our beautiful ocean spaces. I love this world so much. I ended up designing this with being a residential, not a residential rental, a vacation home. I haven't done one of those in a while, and I wanted to design this in a way where it didn't have a strong personality to the Sims that lived here, if that makes sense. I didn't want a situation where it was like, oh, this Sims into art and this Sims into this. So this was done very much as a vacation home. It is set up to look kind of like an Airbnb. Now there are some things around it, and because I was thinking Airbnb, there's things like some stuff in the kitchen, right, to make it look like we left you a set of pots and pans, and there's some plants around and things like that. But I didn't, I wanted it to, I wanted the house to have a personality. I didn't want the Sims to have a personality, if that makes sense. The layout on this one is definitely interesting. The kitchen is, if I lived here, I would get one of those rolly foldy carts, like the kitchen carts. That's what I would do with this kitchen, because there's kind of a big old empty area in the middle, but it's not quite big enough for its own island and things. You could also change this out to have a peninsula on it instead of a dining table, and then you could have eat-in dining, I guess, or an eat-in kitchen. I'm not really sure what you'd call that. I did put a little dock out here, and there is a boat near the end. Not a boat. What are those called? I have drawn a blank. The things with the sails. You know what I'm talking about. Out here for you to be able to use while you're renting. I think that will work. I'll have to test it. And then I struggled here, full on for a while trying to get the ladder to work, and to be honest with you, not fully convinced it works. We'll see. It's been a while since I've actually done something in Sulani, but this house made me want to really play in Sulani, which is funny because I'm playing in the life and death world right now, and I don't think you could get two more different vibes. I really don't think you could. I'm really enjoying life or death for what it's worth, which is surprising to me because I am not really that kind of player. I don't enjoy killing my Sims. To be fair, I haven't actually killed a Sim yet. I'm still struggling with that. But I have been playing the Grim Reaper career and absolutely adoring it, and I'm very excited to play the Mortician career. The Sim in my series on the Reaper event, April Cook, she is now my life and death Sim, except now she has a full-time career, she's kicking tail, she owns a home in Morningvale, and my brother actually gave me the idea to give her, he said hellhounds. I gave her two absolutely adorable Velcro Rotties. And they are the most adorable little beans. Their names are Zeus and Apollo, and they, for being little virtual guys, bring me so much real life joy. They are such a hoot and a half. You do have to be careful though. I did learn. If it seems as though your cute little critters will get very nervous in Morningvale. And so we are planning, once she maxes the Grim Reaper career, we are going to, I think, move out of Morningvale. She's going to switch to Mortician, and then I think we're going to move to, I think it's Crow's Crossing. I can't remember the names. That's more information than you needed, but we're having a great time in Life or Death. I'm enjoying. In this kitchen here, I decided to go modern because if you're building a rental space, you want something clean. I was originally going to go green, and then my little preference for yellow came out hard. I switched out the shelves. Those are the straight shelves in a corner configuration because I liked the way the corner configuration looked, but they still haven't fixed the shelves, the lighting on the shelves in this pack. I went yellow, and I really went back and forth on this decision because looking at it now, I simultaneously love it and hate it, and that's pretty much how I felt when I did it. But I also kind of did the thing where I was like, well, this is a rental, right? So you can kind of do these bolder colors because if someone hates it, they only have to stay here 3 or 4 days, right? Like, this is the time to do kind of the crazy fun stuff. Kind of like how you see, like, the Barbie house rentals, or, like, you see, like, the candy-themed rentals. Like, if you're gonna do something like that, a rental's supposed to do it. This wall, in my head, this wall had a giant hibiscus on it, right? And if you had asked me before I started building this, I would have told you that in Love Struck, we got a beautiful mural with flowers on it that works perfectly. Now, let me be clear. We got a beautiful mural with flowers on it, that one. But it is a lot more of like a traditional rose than I remembered it being. And then I got completely stuck because I was like, what do? I want like a tropical mural on this wall really badly. So I ended up putting paneling everywhere so that I could have the leaves, which then did definitely change the vibe of the living room from what I intended because the leaves were still a fully different vibe than what I had hoped. This might be a candidate house because I really like the layout and I really like how a lot of the rooms turned out. But this might be a really fun candidate for like going CC shopping as a video and then picking a few things and then redoing this house entirely in CC, sort of more how it lives in my head. And then the layout of this living room never quite worked for me, I'll be honest with you. Again, it's a rental, so in the end I was like, well, whatever, you know? Not to, sometimes it's just not worth the mental stress, you know? But I struggled to get the proportions of the furniture and the layout of the furniture just right, where it felt very like, you know? We get really close in the end, and it looks a lot of yellow right now, and it is, but I do trade down some of the yellow, don't worry. We tone it down a little bit. Not in the kitchen. Lord knows not in the kitchen, which, again, is a choice, but it's a rental, so your sim doesn't have to live there all the time. This is a place for your sim to come relax. And honestly, like, if I was renting this place, it's got room to sleep 2 couples, 4 sims, but not 4 individual sims. If I was renting this place, it would probably be, like, for, like, neighbors and couples to come, like, rent a place together. So, like, one couple in one room, one couple in another. Both have en-suites. Both are styled very similarly, but just in different colors. Again, the bathrooms are bold because it's a rental. I'm gonna use that as the excuse for everything. I'm gonna keep saying it. It's a rental. It's an excuse to be bold. And here I started doing some more distressed things. I liked the idea of, like, the found objects. I've talked about it before, too, that on an island it's expensive to import and export things, so I liked to imagine to a point, too, there was also a little bit of, like, let's be smart about thrifting things and finding used pieces with lots of history, because why wouldn't you, you know? And then here for a minute, because of that pretty table, the backing on the couch there, I was like, well, what if we added pink? And then I was like, pink and green and yellow? I did roll with it a little bit, but I really was careful about the pink. I tried to be thoughtful about the pink. And then I went ahead and did a bar height table with bar stools, because I never do that. I thought it would be fun. I thought it would be kind of interesting, especially because it's kind of a focal point in the living space. And then I struggled for 400 years to find something that matched wood tone wise, because that is the bane of our existence. I got to use my beloved fish lamp. I was very excited. And here we start just decorating out the kitchen, which I did struggle with a little bit because I wanted it to look like we had left things for the renter to use, but not like too many personal touches, you know. Here it was kind of funny. I thought about putting a corner cabinet in, and for some reason putting that corner cabinet in from me took this kitchen from like kind of fun and funky, vaguely retro but tropical vibes, to just straight up like 70s nightmare. And I don't know what about that corner cabinet did it, but I was like, nope, that has to be a shelf. Again, looking at this, I think maybe it would have been nice to do the top cabinets in white. I think maybe it would have been nice to do the top cabinets in white. I think that maybe would have lightened this up a little bit, but you live and you learn. And like I said, maybe if we redo this one, it would be nice to do it in CC. That might be kind of a fun thing. I've been trying to think about ways to have like be able to do more builds and stuff with y'all without me necessarily having to brainstorm a full second speed build every week or something like that, because I love this channel and I love doing that, but I'm not a very fast builder and I'm not a very fast designer, I guess. The planning of the things is sometimes hard for me to get done consistently all the time. So I was like, well, maybe it'd be fun to do like these builds and then occasionally find one that we really like and do like CC or something in it. I don't know, just noodling on it. If that sounds like a really fun idea, please let me know. I have a lot of like, I'm in one of those phases where I have a ton of video ideas and it's just how on earth do I execute these? And then second part is, how on earth do I execute these in a way where I can keep executing these, right? Because sometimes you have a video idea and you're like, this is great. And then you go to do it and you're like, wow, that is not tenable on a normal week. Kind of like, I really want to bring back the Nancy Drews. I love them. And in fact, I finally think I have Message in a Haunted Mansion working. It like, I was struggling with the audio for like a hot minute. But like, those are really hard to record. Those don't fit into a normal week very easily for me because they are there's not a lot of simple ways to pause and like walk away, because I have to completely change my computer setup to make those work. I have to unplug pretty much everything and change everything. So I'm trying to avoid things like that where it requires a full teardown and setup to get them to work every time, because it's not super easy to get done. I'm hoping to record, if not sooner. I have a few days off around Christmas, and I was like, that would be a good time to record the next Nancy Drew, and just like bulk record it and then edit it like into episodes all at once, because again, I have to. There's a prep time to some of these older ones. As we get through the Nancy Drews, they'll modernize a little bit and it'll be a lot easier to record. But that's something I didn't think about playing older games, was like, oh, I have to figure this out. Oh no. And I jumped in, like I said, without planning, and then ended up in a little bit of that situation, which is fine, but it's just something I think about. Okay, back to the build. I went with a yellow bathroom, I know, yellow again, and a teal bathroom, I know, green again, but again, get to be bright and happy. And so actually this bathroom's quite moody, but like in a very sophisticated way, I think. Maybe that's just me trying to toot my own horn, I don't know. But I really like the way they play off each other. And both of the rooms kind of have that vibe too. Like the yellow bathroom's bedroom ends up very like warm toned and kind of cozy. And the teal bathroom's bedroom ends up a little bit moodier. And I was like, that's kind of cool, because it gives you some option. If you're coming here by yourself or just as a couple, you can pick what bedroom you want. And then the other bedroom is just, there, I guess. Or I guess if you were renting it and you wanted to modify the lot, you could maybe turn it into an office. Maybe the teal bathroom could be an office, and then you could maybe even make the teal bathroom, if you didn't need another bathroom, you could have it be like a specific skill building room. You could make it look like a dark room. That'd be really cool. Have like an office and then have a dark room off to the side. Ooh. Now I kind of want to build that. All of the cameras in The Sims are digital, but that doesn't mean you can't pretend. You could set up, you could have a photo studio, and then you could have a dark room off to the side. This feels like a room build coming on. Or could I stick it in a house somewhere? Do I have a house coming up that could use a photo studio? Although it kind of feels like you should do a high-rise loft, huh? Because then you could have like the work area and like then the loft space where you live. Now I'm thinking the thoughts. Good idea. Thank you for the inspiration. Thank you. See, I talk to you and I get all these good ideas. I need to start keeping sticky notes nearby. Like when I'm talking, I clear my desk because I fidget and then you can hear me fidgeting with stuff. But like, I really need to keep sticky notes closer by when I'm doing these voiceovers, because you guys are so inspiring. So here's the first room, and like I said, warm tones. Started with this kind of tan color, end up going with some peaches in here. I love these lights, but I always size them down at least 2, I swear. Stuck with the I guess it's beadboarding or like wainscoting. Not really sure exactly what kind of wall detail this, but I kind of stuck with it throughout the house, and I kind of like the idea that it kind of gives, hey, this was an older house, but it has been updated vibes. And I got to use the barn doors. These are not the only barn doors in the game now, but they were the first ones, and I loved them because I do love that look. I know it's kind of dated now, but I have a barn door in my house. It worked out actually really well because I had a place where there was a 70s, like, it's called like a bifolding door, but it was like 8 folds, and it fell apart. So we needed a way to put a door in, but there was no way to put a swinging door in, so we put a barn door in, and I love it, except for on the wall is the control for the heater, and I keep having to explain to people to please be careful when opening the barn door because there's enough space where it'll open without smacking it, unless you're like leaning on it or dragging it, and I don't have the floor thingy in yet because I need help. I need someone to, I don't have enough weight to get it into the floor, so I don't have the floor tracking yet, so it's just hanging on the thing, which isn't safe, I'm aware, I'm sorry, but it's all adults living here, so it's okay. But the problem is it bangs into the heater doohickey, and I've actually had to have someone come out and repair it because it smashed in the old one. It's a mess, y'all. This is what happens when you buy an old farmhouse that needs a little bit of work, is sometimes you have a solution and you're like, this is a great solution, and then it's not. Except it is. It's just honestly, I wish they could just move that thing. And I've been told they could, but then they'd have to do sheetrock, and I don't want to do sheetrock. Sheetrock is expensive and messy. It's just, the woes of being an adult. But I have a really beautiful barn door that I absolutely adore, that is really nice because it does block, it kind of splits my house in half. So that means people can be having like a party in the living room and kitchen, enjoying, having guests over, having a Bible study, whatever they want. And I can be back here working, and I'm not disrupting them, and they're not disrupting me, and it's really quite lovely. Here I'm just putting a little bit of art and some stuff in the front hallway. Again, this is that weird, like, where I was talking about the layout's a little bit funky, where you walk in the hallway through, like, where the bedroom should be into the back. Makes more sense in the context of where it's placed. This house does have a half bath. I didn't really talk about it. It's just a little half bath. In The Sims, do you really need 3 bathrooms and 2 bedrooms? Probably not, but I really love a good half bath. And then there's also a mud room in this house, which I just decorated to look like there would be a place to store your outdoor gear. But you could put laundry in there. You could turn it into another bathroom. You could actually maybe combine bathroom and mudroom and have a 3rd bedroom in here, and then just have 1.5 baths and 3 bedrooms. There's a lot of options here, but I liked the idea of a mudroom. Again, it's not really a space that is like super usable in The Sims, but it's a fun little storytelling space. It's like, there's a little mudroom to get out to the side, along with the big sliding doors in the living room. And then this outdoor space, there's a couple seating areas, there's a dining area. I'm trying to think. I think that's everything. Yeah, we put the loungers out. There's a little seating area. I think there's some benches in the front. I'm trying to remember if there's anything down the other side. I don't think so offhand. We'll have to watch and see. And I just went with some dark woods, some subtle tones. That's a life and death feature, those little candles. And here I know I put some pretty colorful bunches out, I believe. And I really like how this turned out. And then I just do a little bit of landscaping because obviously we're on the water, so I didn't want to go too crazy here. But I really do. I can see my Sims chilling out here. I think it would be quite fun. Yeah, these things. What is that? Is that a catamaran? That doesn't sound right. But here's the screenshots. Happened to take some sunset screenshots because of course we did. Ain't she pretty? Ain't she pretty? I sure like her a lot. But anyways, guys, I've been talking at you for a hot minute, so I'm going to probably let you go and just enjoy the screenshots yourself. Look at those sun flares. Who is she? But anyways, I hope you're having a good day and you're feeling loved. And if you're not feeling loved, please know that I love you. I'm glad you exist. I'm glad you're here hanging out. Getting to brainstorm fun ideas with you is one of the better parts of my day, and I really mean that. Next up should be Minecraft, I think, and then probably on to another speed build. Pretty usual schedule right now. Let me know what you thought of the Reaper event. That should have ended a couple weeks ago. You've had some time to ruminate. Let me know what you think. And I'll catch you soon. Love you, bye.